Hi everybody, Robin Eve here. Welcome to Good Talk with Robin Eve and Donnie Vapor. It is Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to all of you who celebrate. My favorite human has been down south for the past couple of months. This is the longest that we have ever been apart, and this is the first Mother's Day that we did not spend together in 23 years. So we thought outside the box, and we decided to have a good talk with you. And then in a little while, we're going to be sharing the interview that Don had recently with Mike Drazka, who is the man behind the at-home concert series on News 12. The people who have been participating in it is absolutely mind-blowing. And he sat down and told us a little bit about what made it come to be and where he's going from here. So settle in. We've got a big show ahead, and we're going to get started. Hello, Sarah Eve. Welcome to Good Talk TV, and happy Mama's Day. How are you, kid?
Mom. I'm good.
Our relationship has really run the gamut of just about everything, and you have been on this planet almost 24 years.
I think it's kind of as I grew up, because I've always felt that you go through stages where, especially with girls, you're attached to your mom, and then you hate your mom, and then it's like, okay, I need my mom now.
It was hating? Wait, whoa, hating.
I mean, not
severe
hate,
dislike?
Strongly disliked you.
Strongly disliked. Okay,
that's fine. From 14 to 16.
I think that something that's really important is it's okay to say, you know what, I strongly dislike you right now, or something to that effect. But I think even when we were fighting, we would know that no matter what was said, it was never unforgivable, and that no matter how bad it got, that we would get okay.
And you used to call Gran when we got into big fights, especially when I was like a preteen. And you'd call Gran, and I will never forget the time where I was at confirmation class, and I think I was pissed at you, and we were fighting in the car, and I said, I hate you, and I slammed the door, and I went downstairs, and you must have called Gran.
Crying.
And Gran hangs up with you and called St. Paul's.
Well, I think the lesson there, it was a little drastic, and I definitely learned how to step back a little bit, because Gran would tend to try to help in areas that didn't necessarily involve her, but it was always with good intentions. But I think that moment was definitely a moment of, we need to watch our words.
Yeah.
What I loved was watching you find and trust your own voice. I think that that's something that I really wasn't starting to embrace until I was in my 40s. And, I had moments of speaking my mind, but really trusting who I was and what my message was and what I stood for. It's something that I embraced more and more. And to see that happen with you, like 2 decades earlier than I even thought about it or started to grasp it, was a really, really proud moment for me. There have been times where I haven't handled myself in the best way that I would have liked to, but I can look to you for balance and for perspective and, to see things in a different way, that you kind of took the information that you were given growing up and then you processed it on your own and then presented it as you. So music has always been something that has connected us within our family, really. But with you and I especially, and what I've always enjoyed was us getting in the car and, going for a drive, and you're in charge of the playlist, and you've introduced me to so many different artists and things that I would not have been exposed to normally. There are times where you'll come running down the stairs and I'm in the middle of something and it doesn't matter. It's stop what you're doing. You have to hear this song now. And when I think about it, that's kind of amazing. So that's why I stop what I'm doing and I listen to this song. If we were to have like a theme song for our relationship as mother and daughter, what do you think it would be?
That's hard.
Right?
I don't know. Oh, I have a good one.
Okay.
Adventure of a Lifetime by Coldplay.
Nailed it.
That was good.
That was really good. Well played, kid.
Popped.
So what are some of the things as a mom that you wish growing up that I would have handled a little differently? One that comes right to mind that I still have regrets about, but I had to let go, was when I took your phone. So we learned a big lesson, I think, with that one of if mom asks direct questions, and this is for all of our viewers, kids pay attention. If a mom comes to you and asks you specific questions that sound a little like, so what were you doing at this time on this day, between the hours of such and such? She already knows the answer off. However, like a 9-month suspension really was a bit ridiculous. And
I
I
mean,
think it just 1 month fell into the next and the next because I'm thinking, you know what? We're not arguing about it. I don't have to pay it. It's fine. But
need it.
that was a little overkill. Is there anything that stand out to you, communication or tackling things or approaches that, we can give advice to other moms out there?
Well, it's not that you didn't do this, but I think it's important for mothers to grow with their children and fathers too. Like any parent should grow with their child, because if you don't grow with them, you're going to be left behind. It's a learning experience for both parties, and you had your strict moments. You definitely did. I had a curfew till I was, I think, 21.
Yes.
Which might not have been needed fully.
It wasn't necessarily a curfew. The curfew was lifted at 18.
It was not. What?
It was strongly encouraged until around 20. And then it evolved to you can come and go as you really want to, but you have to tell me what?
Where I am.
And
if I'm coming home or not. And if I'm not coming,
why?
You have to know where I am. Because, not to be a Debbie Downer, but God forbid something happens to me, you know my last location.
Something where when you have established communication about this is how this is going to go down in this particular circumstance, and then that doesn't happen, I don't think that parents should freak out every single time their kids leave the house, but if you say, okay, I'm going to be home by 2:00 in the morning, now it's 4:00 in the morning, and you would always communicate that, and now you don't,
there's a problem.
Now I'm calling the police.
Which thankfully you've never done. You've never called the police, thank God.
No, I didn't. That's because I found you on my own.
That is true. That is very, very true, though.
We have people say that we twin a lot. Would you agree with that?
Well, I have a feeling people are going to think we're twinning already, considering you raided my closet to where.
This is great.
Where my kimono.
When you're not home. It's not like I would have asked if I thought that you were going to wear it, but you're not home.
You're just lucky I had a floral dress to wear.
Yeah, I love it. We have this nice Mother's Day thing happening.
Yeah, a nice flower Mother's Day spring themed Zoom.
I've always been a very self-conscious person, always. And I second guess and I overthink and all of these fun things that, I pass a lot down to my daughter. But one of the things that I respect and admire about you the most is your confidence. You're like, kapow, this is me. I'm here. I'm present. I'm all in. And I'm really, really trying to lighten up and embrace that. And that is not as easy for me. And by me saying it's not easy for me, it wasn't easy for you. What advice do you have for some of the daughters that really are trying to find their own way of loving themselves?
That's my favorite topic, actually. Because
it's hard to do. We both know that it's hard to do, and we're really trying to, and you've really just jumped in with that.
There's a lot of stigma with social media that you need to be a certain weight, a certain height, a certain skin color, a certain, hair and eye color to fit in with society. And yes, I have the blonde hair and the blue eyes that many people, like especially around me, have told me that they envy. But then I look at them like, okay, but you have this, and that. Mm-hmm. You're right. Confidence doesn't come easy. I think it took a lot of sitting in my room and actually thinking about things And you have to sit down, you have to think about what's important. And do you really care what a stranger on the street is going to say about you? Do you really care? Oh, you may feel great in this bathing suit. And someone next to you might say, oh, she looks too skinny, or oh, she looks too big. But does that matter? And for a long time, to me, it did. And I wouldn't go out in a 2-piece bathing suit, or I wouldn't go out in short shorts, and I wouldn't try and show off any of my upper area because I didn't feel confident in it. But especially luckily with now, because I am definitely have more of a curvier body, people now also classify that not only as curvy, but of like thick, which is me. It took a long time for me to understand that I'm never going to be that skinny person that walks on the streets with a thigh gap and, maybe no love handles. I mean, sure, I have it right now and it is what it is. You have to embrace everything about you, your flaws, your positives, the best things about you, the worst things about you, for you to love yourself. So you have to find things in life that are meaningful to you to accept yourself. And it's not something that happens overnight at all. It took me years. I think now is probably the most confident I've ever been. But for those who follow my Instagram or follow my social media, they know how I've perceived myself on social media, but I've never put on a front. And the most recent post that you saw was I did a cute little photo shoot just to empower myself with one of my close friends, Haley. And it's a picture of just me laying down, and it's in a 1-piece, and I have a rose on my nose. And I've loved that picture since we had that little impromptu photo shoot on Valentine's Day. And I was just always afraid of posting it because I thought of all of the negative connotations that can come with it of, oh, she's looking for attention. Oh, she's getting unwanted attention. Oh, she's going after boys. Oh, she's doing this. Oh, she's doing that. But the reality
That's not what happens.
It's not what happened, which, the outpouring of love and respect for the post that I got was uncanny. I didn't expect it at all. It was more of, you shouldn't be afraid to post something that makes you feel confident. And that picture made me not only feel confident, but made me feel beautiful, which is not something that always happens because you know how I get. We all get into those moods where we can sit in the mirror and look at ourselves and know in our head that we're beautiful, but we feel like the ugliest person alive.
You can only see the flaws. It's
right.
Oh, look at this bag, look at this mark, look at this wrinkle, look at this thing. My hair is bad, my nails are bad.
I've messed with my hair how many times on this, but we also know that my natural hair is kind of nuts like it is right now. You shouldn't have to worry about what other people say or think. And I know that that's easier said than done, but do what makes you happy, because someone out there is going to love you for exactly who you are. And whoever doesn't, it's their loss that they can't. And that's how I've kind of gone about my life. And it's had me eliminate one-sided friendships that become toxic. And that's also what comes to it. You have to see, like, the people in your life, are they benefiting you or are they making it worse for you? You want people that are going to surround you with positivity and embrace you and embrace every flaw or every perfect thing about yourself. Because if you surround yourself with people that are not going to do that, it's going to bring you down.
When we talk about what you feed yourself, it's not just the food. What you feed yourself are the people that you're around, are, the movies that you watch. It's the music that you listen to. All of that feeds parts of you. Right. And you really have to be selective about the people that you choose to have in your life that have an influence about, the person that you are, and what do they bring out of you? Does it make you feel good about yourself when you're with them, or is there anxiety when you're going to be seeing them?
You know what you bring to the table in whatever relationship or friendship that you have, but what are they bringing to the table? Because if it's not really matching up, then you can see how it's one-sided. And then that's not healthy for your own mental health. You know that I had to let go of a very close person in my life for many years recently. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it was something where it was a knock 'em, drag 'em out, but it was, I saw true colors. Mm-hmm. And I stepped back and I took myself out of the equation.
And I both did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it also comes to the point where if someone is feeling like you feel like you have to do that, that doesn't mean you have to tell them, okay, don't contact me ever again, unless it's toxic to the point where it's needed. But mm-hmm. you take a step back, because then if you don't put in the effort, if they truly care, they'll see it. And then let them come to you, because at the end of the day, if that doesn't happen, then it wasn't really worth it. That's what I had to tell myself, and I was fighting that off for probably about 3 years. And I hit a breaking point down here, which you know very well because I'm pretty sure I called you about it.
You did.
And honestly, ever since I did, yeah, it hurts. And when I think about it, it hurts me and I feel upset because I constantly ask myself, well, what did I do? What could I have done to make it better? But the reality of the fact is we grow up and we have different lives, and sometimes you don't become as much of a priority to a certain person as they are to you.
Thank you all so much for watching, for commenting, and for sharing. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break so we can hear from our sponsors and friends, and we'll be right back with more good talk with Sarah Eve.
Rob DeMarco here from Exit Verona, and I love having a chat with Robin Eve and Donnie Vapor.
Hey everybody, this is Motorcycle Mike, the personal injury lawyer. I've been riding motorcycles my entire adult life. During the course of my 30-year career as a lawyer, I've also represented countless injured motorcyclists. If you're one of them, I can be of assistance to you. Go to my website, please, motorcyclemikeesq.com. I'll always be there for you. I'm on your side when you ride.
Hi, my name is Sharon Gillette, and I'm the owner of One Stitch at a Time. I've been doing this since I'm 9 years old, but it became full-time when my husband was diagnosed with cancer several years ago. And I never went back to work because I wanted to take care of him. I feel what makes me stand out is that I care. I take a personal interest in your project. I take the time to find your correct fit and treat you like a friend, not just a customer. So whether it's embroidery, making patches, printing shirts, doing alterations and repairs, or bringing your ideas to life, you can call me at 631-428-1245 or visit my website at www.onestitchatatime.co.
One of the things that I think was the most important thing that you and I ever communicated about was mental health awareness. The fact that you and I have both known people that struggle with mental illness, that have challenges, that we have ourselves, that we've in the past dealt with depression and anxiety and sometimes still do. It's incredible that we were able to find solace in each other and be able to open up to each other. And a lot of people don't have that safety net and they're not able to do that. Can we show our tattoos?
I was just thinking about that. I mean, it's not going to come out the right way with mine, but mine's here. So, yeah.
So we got these tattoos a number of years ago. And this is part of the Semicolon Project. And it goes along with, once you think that what you have to say is done and you have nothing else to contribute, you continue anyway. Us talking about mental health and depression and anxiety is something that really did bridge us closer together, because we realized that we did have a common ground, that you're not in it by yourself, that you're not the only person that feels like that. And that's something that I know we both encourage other parents and kids to talk about, because there are a lot of relationships out there that do not talk openly about these things. And it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to brush under the rug. It's not something to minimize. It's something to be open about and seek help about, because there is help that's available.
And it's not something, us being able to talk about that did not happen overnight either.
No, it did not. What advice do you have for other kids and parents, and today for Mother's Day, specifically moms and daughters, who are having trouble communicating freely with each other about what's on their mind, about some stresses that they might be having, or things that they want to celebrate? There seems to be like a block between them, and they really want to bridge that gap, and they're not sure how. What would you tell them?
It takes time and effort, honestly. It really does. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of open-mindedness. With us, I think it came more naturally after I decided that I wanted to go to therapy. There is also a lot of negative connotations when it comes to therapy of, wow, there must be something wrong with you. And there's really not. It's just you need an outside opinion on issues that are affecting your day by day. I think with doing that, we were able to really open ourselves up more than we ever did, because I would say something, for example, and you would take it a certain way. She would say, okay, wait, Robin, listen to what she's saying with an open mind. It really allowed us to form that bond of, okay, I can talk to my mom about this. I can talk to my mom about that. And it's also come with different life experiences. You have to grow with your child, and you have to go into it with an open mind, because yes, I'm sure there were plenty of conversations where I've had with my mom that she did not want to have, and vice versa.
Yeah.
There's so many conversations that you don't want to have with your mom or your dad, but especially your mom with being a girl. Yeah, both parties have to be open-minded for the communication to bridge. If you're being closed off, it's not going to progress. So I would say for people who are having a hard time with that, if it's past the point of trying to be open-minded and start with that, then I would recommend maybe just not jumping into therapy, but get an outsider perspective on it. Like, you talk to someone that you trust and say, okay, well, how can I better myself to better my relationship with my daughter or my son or anyone in the family? And therapy might work because it allows you to get used to communicating and feeling comfortable around each other, because that doesn't happen overnight.
People are afraid to speak their mind because they're afraid of repercussions or making things worse, or I'm going to start a fight and things like that. But what they don't realize, and we've learned time and time again, is the longer that you hold on to the little stuff, it suddenly becomes really big stuff.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. For us, it took a few years to get to where we are now, to where I've had plenty of breakdowns down here of just about anything, and especially being away from my mom. And I pick up the phone and I call her and I'm calmed down in 5 minutes. But that was not always the case. If you would have went back 5 years ago, I would have done it by myself. It takes a lot of real deep conversations that people don't necessarily want to have with each other, but once you have them, it betters the relationship. And yet, they're not going to be fun when you first have them. I've had plenty of hard talks with my mother, and she can attest.
Yeah. Well, I think that there was a time, a few years ago, especially, where I had really lost my sense of self. And, I was unsure who I was and who I wanted to be and what I had to contribute to this world. And, so one thing we've always talked about is from our parents, we learn one of two things. What are those things?
How to be and how not to be.
Yeah, you get to choose. So I think that when I was during the period when I was lost a lot of the time, that was in a very strong period of you realizing, hey, I can pull myself out of this. And so it was interesting what was happening. It's not like we changed roles where you were the mom and I was the kid or anything like that, but you were learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. And by me being able to witness that and experience that firsthand, that helped me learn how to stand on mine. That falls under the category of you learn from your parents how to be and how not to be. And during that time, I don't think I was a great example of how to handle stress and things like that, because I just couldn't see past being overwhelmed. And I couldn't see past what was going on at the time. But you were able to help with that. So.
Well, I think also something to acknowledge for parents is as much as you learn how to be and how not to be from your parents, you also learn that from your child. That's part of growing with your child. You don't want your child to make the same mistakes that you do, but the reality of the matter is they're going to make their own mistakes, whether they're the same that you did or they're different. And sometimes that's a hard thing to swallow. And I think that was hard on you sometimes, is you didn't want me to go down a certain path, but if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. And luckily, I don't think I ever really went down a bad path.
You didn't fall down the rabbit hole, but it is hard knowing that there are certain things in my life that I've done that made it harder for me, and then I'll pass that on, and then you do them anyway. That's the cycle of parenting. That's what I think what I did with my parents when they said, don't do this, it's not going to end well. And I'll go, oh, no, I'll show you. And then, you know, right after that, I go, oh, yeah, there's, you were right, that didn't end well.
Yeah, I've definitely had that. But I think it's also, you know, the reality of me is I'm 23. I'm going to be 24 in a few months. Well, really less than 2 at this point, which is
So
kind of weird.
So weird.
But, you know, for all I know, in the next 10 years, I can be married and have a family, which is odd to think about at my age, and be established in a career and, you know, be who I was meant to be. And I even thought, like, okay, I want to be the best parent. I want to be, you know, you always want to be better than your parents. I can say that speaking as a child. You want to be better than your parents ever were. And you want the same for your child. You want your child to be better than you ever were. But the reality of that is you're not going to be a perfect parent. No one's perfect in this world. And if you're perfect, then something's wrong. Yeah, you're learning every single day what to do and what not to do. And I think that for new time parents or parents of one child, or, you know, the oldest child, that's hard because you want to do things different from how you grew up, but you want to do it the same, but you don't know what to do and how to do it. And then you're going with your husband or your wife, and you're going based on their experiences, and it's a learning experience regardless. And I think people don't really see that, and they're always consumed of I want to be the perfect mom. I want to be the perfect dad.
Mm-hmm.
In society, you're never going to be that, but you could be for your child. I used to be very resentful of my parents of, okay, I'm this age and I think I know everything and I should be able to do what I want when I want, blah, 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 blah. Ridiculous. But everyone goes through that stage. But luckily, like, I wouldn't trade my parents for the world because they are who I am.
All right, trivia time.
All right, go. What are my top 3 bands? In order.
In order? Coldplay.
Okay.
Arizona.
Okay.
James Taylor.
No. He's not a band. He's an artist.
I was trying to get that in there because he plays with a band. All right, tell me the third one.
The 1975.
Oh, I knew that.
But they're older music.
All right. If I could jam out with anybody on stage, who would it be?
What is his name? He has gray hair. Well, I know you love Sam Elliott, but he's an actor.
Oofa. That was for Aunt Julie.
It's not Kenny Rogers, right? No. But Michael Bolton.
Oh, no. No offense to Michael Bolton, but no. When you're close, you get the first name.
Oh, Michael McDonald. Oh, all right. There it is. I knew it was gray hair and it was Michael. It had, like,
all right, you can get that one.
All right. Whew.
All right, what's my top 3 favorite colors?
Green. Green's your favorite color.
I can't believe you didn't say black first.
No, because your favorite color is green, but you just wear black with everything, because if you could wear a color that's blacker than black, you would.
Okay, I'll take that answer.
What can I ask? What is my favorite feature about myself?
Your eyes. But it's close second with your upper half.
I said hair is second, but okay.
I don't know, you're all out with your flowers.
It comes with body confidence, Mom. Out of every talent you have, what do I wish I could do?
Oh, definitely breakdance.
I think the scariest thing is I've been at concerts with this woman and I have been at shows and we dance the same. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Feel the joy. We can have a dance party right now.
Very much moving in the upward because we do this.
Do I have any sayings that you can think of that I repeat over and over and
So
over?
always says Om Shanti, but she adds 2 other words that are not family friendly on.
Come on. Om Shanti.
Oh, come here, my little squirrel.
Oh, this is Marley Evan, and this is my grand kitten and half of my quarantine while I am home.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, bud. Hello, little Smooshy. She's trying to get marzipan to stick, but it's not working.
He likes it.
He does not.
So glad that everybody got to say hello and meet you on this very special Mother's Day. I love you very, very much. And thank you for having a good talk.
Thank you for having me. And I hopefully will see you in a few weeks.
I look forward to it, kid.
Bye, friends.
I will tell you what, this mama's heart is full. Thank you to my favorite human for sharing your time with us. And thank you all for sticking with us and for having a good talk. We're going to take a quick break so we can hear from our sponsors and friends. And coming up next, Mike Drazka from News 12.
Hi, this is Frank Walker. Good Talk with Robin Eve and Donnie Vapor, Sunday nights.
Writing a book is the adventure of a lifetime. Red Penguin Books take pride in giving our authors a publishing experience that is stress-free and celebratory all the way. Some of our authors first approach us with no more than an idea for a book that's ready to sprout. Others submit completed manuscripts. Whether you're at either end or anywhere in between, our goal is to get you published. At Red Penguin Books, we offer options and opportunities that are unique in the world of publishing, and all of them are designed to keep you, the author we so deeply respect, in the driver's seat, unlike other publishing houses. So, if you want to write a book and are looking for a publisher, we've got you covered. Red Penguin Books deal in publishing services, book development, and ghostwriting for digital, print, and audiobook. Call us at 516-448-4993 or visit our website www.redpenguinbooks.com.
Welcome to Good Talk TV. It's Good Talk with Robin Eve and Donnie Vapor. I'm one half of that duo, Donnie Vapor, inside my man cave somewhere on Long Island, out in Selden. Well, I kind of gave it away. I got a really special guest today, and you guys are in for a treat. I have a gentleman that is the director and music segment producer of we have a local Channel 12 News, it's called. And he's been with them, I want to say, a very short time, about maybe 27 years.
Yeah,
And,
I'm kind of new to the whole thing. 27 years,
He's just getting his feet wet. And his name is Mike Drazka. And welcome aboard. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Donnie. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
It's fantastic. And what I want to talk about today is something that you recently started to do with the advent of the COVID-19
Yes.
and this pandemic. You started to realize so many musicians were jumping online, myself included, and doing their music because we can't play in the venues, we can't play in the bars and such and taverns, and we're all taken to the online stream so people could be sequestered and still get their fix. And you had the brainchild of bringing it to News 12 where you work and focusing on Long Island talent and putting it out there for the world to see and actually organizing it and setting it up in such a great fashion and promoting it that I personally can't thank you enough because it's given me so many nights of amazing entertainment.
Well, listen, thank you for that, and thank everybody that has participated up until this point. To say it's my brainchild, I would disagree in a way only because it wouldn't happen without people like you and all of the artists. So organically it developed, but without your talent and everybody else's talent, this would not be possible. So I really need to thank everybody that's been involved at this point, everybody that's going to be involved going forward, and just all the talent and the musicians. And Long Island is so amazing right now with the amount of talented artists that we have. So thank you, and thank all of the artists that have been, part of the process.
That is really nice of you to say, and I appreciate that. It's a combined effort. It's everybody's talents come together, and but you're curating it in a way that is so amazing, and you're the keeper now of the archives. I can't wait. People in the future will go back and see this time and see how many people really are into music and entertainment on Long Island that put it out there. It's a hotbed, I guess, a hotbed of entertainment, right?
You know what? It's amazing because when I put the concept together, and I thought it was so just very briefly to give you an idea. I, like you originally said, I had seen a lot of these artists. They were doing these online performances. Obviously, live venues were not possible. Live performances were not possible with everything that's going on right now. So I had seen that, a lot of people were doing at-home concerts and things like that. And I decided, well, what if we can get them a bigger audience and put them on a bigger stage, so to speak, that they don't have available to them at the moment. And it's really, it's worked out very well. And a lot of the performers are getting, fans, and they're getting follows and things like that they haven't had before. And I'm just really happy to, be a part of the whole thing and getting eyes on people and, help. And listen, one thing I've definitely learned throughout this whole process is the Long Island music community is very close, and a lot of people know each other. And to see, if I book someone on the show, they know 20 other people that I have on my list,
Yeah, sure.
Which is fantastic. And, to support the Long Island music community and support the artists as a whole, it's just a wonderful experience and just so beneficial. And I'm happy to be able to do that.
That's a beautiful thing. And like you said, everyone kind of knows somebody. After all, we're on a narrow island.
Yes.
So we're very closely related to everybody, which is really cool. And I believe you're a musician, songwriter yourself, right?
I am.
You have Songs from the Asylum, 2012, and Realm of Another Dimension. I've been looking at some of your stuff.
You looked me up, yeah. So,
I've
been a long time musician. I haven't played live in quite a number of years, and other things occupy my time, so I don't have as much time as I would like to, to pick up the drumsticks or the guitar. But music is in my blood, and it always will be in my blood, and it's something that will always be a part of me, and I'm attached to. So I do have on that level of connection to these artists and these people and what they're trying to do, and I think that I can in a way understand what it's like for them at this point in time. So anything I can do to help them out, I'm really grateful to be able to do that.
And it shows. That's a beautiful thing. Can you tell my audience that are brand new, and some people that are not aware of what's happening with News 12, like how they find it, what exactly is going on, and how it comes about? Could you give me give us a little summary of how they would find the music and what to watch and how it works?
Sure. So what we've been doing is, once we started the concert series, we wanted to kind of gauge the audience and see how people respond to it, and it's gone exceedingly well beyond my expectations. So if you go to news12.com, you can find a concert calendar, and it'll have a list of that the weekly performers that are coming up. And also, if you watch on Channel 12 every morning, Lisa DiStefano will also promote and mention the artists that are coming up during the week. So there are two possible avenues to find out the upcoming performers that we're going to have on.
Wow, that's very cool. And they just sit back, and it's coming off of the Facebook, off of News 12.
Yeah, so each performance that we do, we generally do them at 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And at this point, we're doing 4 to 5 performances a week because it's just there's so many amazing musicians in the area. I can almost hardly keep up with it at this point with the amount of people, that want to be involved, and they're also so talented. So we do about 4 or 5 per week, and that when we do have an artist on, we put that we cross stream that to the all the regions, which is 8 regions in the tri-state area, which maximizes the exposure for all the artists and really gets them. Again, the whole idea was to give the artists the biggest platform possible that I can provide and New Swell can provide for them.
Well, that's fantastic. It's a much broader reach, I guess, these artists get.
Yes.
Well, that's really cool. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the musicians that you had on off the top of your head? Some local names?
Sure. I mean, yeah. Do you want the? I mean, listen. We've had every first of all, every single performer. Thank you, and every single performer, you are amazing. We've had Robin Eve. We've had Joe DeJesu. We've had J.D. Leonard. We've had Rory Kelly. We've had Dave Christian. We've had Katie Perlman. I can go on and on.
Wow.
To supplement that, we've had some bigger names, or I should say more familiar names to Long Island, such as Mike Judas from Big Shot and the Billy Joel Band, Randy Jackson from Zebra, Joan Jett, Taylor Dane.
Wow.
So it's just wonderful that there are so many people that want to be involved in this, and that are providing something that's positive for Long Islanders, and that's something that is not what we're hearing about every day right now. And it's just a nice relief, and I think it's putting smiles on a lot of people's faces, and they're appreciating the whole effort, and they're appreciating the performers and what they're doing for this.
That is really cool. And I want to mention to my audience that this is all original music only.
It is all original music. Yes, it is. And that was by design, without going into detail. But I think that's also very beneficial because the artists that we do have on, it gets them the exposure for their material. And listen, one thing and when I do, when I talk to an artist and I set them up for the show, one thing I say is, we do the original material for a reason, and I think that's great because it really gets people to know your music. And maybe, and who knows when this is going to happen, but maybe when this is all over, people say, hey, you know what? I liked that artist, and now I want to go see them live when this is all over. So it really kind of gives a little bit back to them as well.
I can't thank you enough for doing something like you're doing for the local talent. That's really, really cool. And and a lot of people know it's tough on Long Island in the beginning for singer-songwriters. It's I'm not putting down anybody's style and what they do, but there's a ton of tribute bands, which is fantastic.
Yes.
I personally love them.
It's a hotbed of tribute bands, and listen, there are phenomenal tribute bands.
Absolutely,
and they do very well, and there's so much talent, on that side of things. Absolutely.
Mike, thank you so much. We love people who support original music, and you are one of them. Don't go away. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with more Good Talk with Mike and Don.
Hi, my name is Sharon Gillette, and I'm the owner of One Stitch at a Time. I've been doing this since I'm 9 years old, but it became full-time when my husband was diagnosed with cancer several years ago. And I never went back to work because I wanted to take care of him. I feel what makes me stand out is that I care. I take a personal interest in your project. I take the time to find your correct fit. and treat you like a friend, not just a customer. So whether it's embroidery, making patches, printing shirts, doing alterations and repairs, or bringing your ideas to life, you can call me at 631-428-1245 or visit my website at www.onestitchatatime.co.
Hey everybody, this is Motorcycle Mike, the personal injury lawyer. In addition to representing injured motorcyclists for over 30 years now, during that same time, I've represented countless car crash victims and construction workers injured on construction sites. If you need my assistance, go to my website, motorcyclemikeesq.com. I will always be there for you.
Thank you, Pulmonary Wellness Foundation, Good Talk TV sponsor. Please visit pulmonarywellness.com to learn more about this incredible organization.
I myself was in a party band for years, and there's tremendous wedding bands, but just Long Island just doesn't have a ton of outlets for original music. More and more cropping up, but not to the same extent, I think you would agree, as what's happening with the tributes and the club bands and the weddings. And
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because as we mentioned before, I'm a little bit of an old timer, so I remember
You're an old timer.
a little bit.
I'm just 12.
What's that?
You're 12.
Yeah, I wish. I feel well, in mind only. But listen, I remember, back in the day, the original music scene was big, and it was about getting your music out there, and and when I used to perform at some of the clubs, and now I'm going to date myself.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about Sundance, we're talking about Sparks, it's Showcase, we're talking about Right Track In, and
Sure.
what was it in Elmont? It wasn't Hammerheads, but prior to Hammerheads, I forgot what it was called.
Where was this? What's
February's in Elmont.
Oh my goodness, sure. I used to go to February's often. Yeah.
Yes, and back then you everybody wanted to be somebody, and you had your original material, and you worked so hard on it, and you'd be there at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday morning waiting for your quote unquote headlining set to get your original music out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just what you're saying, it is difficult because things have changed quite a bit. And for artists to break through these days with original material is a little bit more difficult. I loved what we used to do back in the day, the grind, and trying to make it, and I never did, but for those that did, great for you, God bless you. I'm happy you did. But yeah, and again, if this is some sort of a way for people to reach their audience or reach the public with their original material, then that's wonderful, and I'm really happy, that we can do that for them.
So I mean, I think what you're doing, this whole concept is just super, super cool, and I would be remiss if I didn't shamelessly promote that you were nice enough to ask me to be on as well, and I'm going to be doing a segment on the show on the News 12 concert series. I believe it's May 14th, which is Thursday.
Yes, Donnie Vapor, May 14th on News 12,
which is so super
concert
cool.
Series live, all original material, and thank you so much. I'm very happy to have you.
Well, thank you for having me, and that's at 8 p.m. and I know a lot of people are asking me about that, which is really cool. And I want to ask you something before I get towards the end, and
Sure.
Because I know we're going to talk about a montage that you put together for us that the fans are going to love this. But Let me ask you a really out there question. Let's suppose, like many, many, many years later in the future, we're all gone. Somebody opens up this imaginary book and they see Mike Drazka, and what would you want it to say that you were about, as far as what you put out to this world? What would you like your epitaph to read?
Um,
What was your impact?
wow, my impact. That's kind of overwhelming. I wanted, if I could say anything based on what is occurring right now, what I've done is, I wanted to say I did the best I could for musicians and artists, and they they benefited by what I did, and I am grateful for them and what they gave me during this time. And that's really what it comes down to, because, and I've said this to other people, people have thanked me for the concert series, but the bottom line is I must thank all of you, because without your talent, without what you do, I could not do this.
That's beautiful. Wow, you're an amazing soul. I can feel that. That is so real.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Very, very cool. And as I said earlier, guys, it's an amazing concert series that you guys can watch for free. You don't have to pay for parking.
Yes.
You don't have to worry if you had too much to eat and drink. You don't have to get in the car.
No lines.
You can wear whatever you want to wear. We don't want to know what you're wearing. And you can just sit back in your favorite easy chair or whatever that might be and just enjoy the multitude of entertainment varieties. Because some of these singer-songwriters are all different styles. It's just a little bit something for everybody in an original format with a great platform that has a beautiful reach. And Mike is gracious enough, you're going to see in a couple of seconds, I'm going to throw it over, put together a great video montage of some of the musical acts that have played on the program. So what I'd like to say in summary is I can't thank you enough for helping me spread the awareness of the music and what it can do for people. It's making me think for a second, because I feel like I want to always thank the first responders and the people that are in the hospitals, and the doctors and the nurses and the truck drivers and the supermarket workers, easy for my lips, new lips. Just people out there doing hard work. They're on the front lines. And I feel as musicians, we still can have a small impact, a little voice, and making people unwind, making people feel good. At the end of the day, we want to make people walk away from, I know you're in the business, but that 24/7 news cycle, sometimes it's good to decompress and just to kick back and just be able to start fresh again. I think musicians really can do that. And I think it's a great thing that you're allowing us to try to help people. So I think it's just a win-win.
It really is, and just like you said, any little bit that anybody can provide and there's some sort of relief. The first responders are first. They do the real hard work.
Yes.
I feel like in a way we are the support, and if we can provide something for the people in addition to what they do, which is beyond noble, which they are the superheroes as far as I'm concerned. So what they do is amazing and it's wonderful. And what the music community provides is almost like a support crew, but combined together, I think it's just something wonderful that helps all of us get through this together.
Nicely put. Again, everybody, I want to say thank you to Mike Drazka for coming on our show. You're awesome, and I wish you the best of health, and keep fighting the good fight. And we're going to go throw it to his awesome montage, and I'm throwing it back to the studio. Take care. And Mike, thanks for having a good talk with Robin Eve and Donnie Vapor, at least one half of the pair.
Donnie, thank you so much, and thank Robin for me as well. I appreciate it.
You got it. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Now even though I don't know your name, and I know I can feel your pain, it don't matter what you're going through, I will say a prayer for you.
Down, I don't stay there as long. Yeah, I get down, I don't stay there as long. I get down, I don't stay there as long, and I just
we sailed away. We walked 3,000 miles and then we slipped away. We looked so hard, but couldn't seem to find just what the world was for. Now I know just what the journey's for.
How many times do we stay inside, thinking it would be safe at home, letting life go by as we sit on the side. Too much is on our minds as time flies.
If we tried a little harder, if we talked a little more, could we avoid this disaster? Could we get back to the days when we laughed, held each other, when it seemed so right just to call you my lover? Who's to blame when we're older? It's a long way back to the days of old.
That's our show for tonight. Special thanks to Sarah Eve and to Mike Drazka for sitting down with us and having a really good talk. We hope that you all enjoyed and that you will tune in with us next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook at Strong Island Television, where we will be featuring our How It's Done Tribute to Tributes, Lay Your Hands on Me. We are having our Artist of the Week, Exit Verona, and so much more. So make sure you are following Strong Island Television on Facebook, Good Talk TV Show on Facebook, and don't forget to email us, goodtalktvshow@gmail.com. Happy Mother's Day to all who celebrate, and thank you for the good talk.